What?
Hello.
Hey, y'all, this is Kyle May. He's with Movement Mortgage. He's amazing. He's on site here with the A team, and he is going to explain to us what North Carolina housing, what is it? North Carolina, what is it?
Yeah,
Say
it's North Carolina Housing Finance Agency, and they have down payment assistance programs.
down payment assistance program. So if the only thing that's keeping you from getting into a home, which Kyle says is assets. And I'm like, well, Kyle, what does that mean? Assets, just to regular
Money,
money.
money.
You don't have cash for down payment. And that's the hardest part for you is to save for that. This could be the way you can get into a house with no money down. So Kyle, tell us what this program is and what it does.
Absolutely. So everybody's scenario is going to be different than somebody else's, right? Just depending on credit score, their debt to income ratio, and whatnot. But in general terms, North Carolina Housing Down Payment Assistance has two main programs. One's a 3% down that they help you with 3% down of a down payment, or a $15,000 down payment assistance program. The most popular one that I'm seeing being used right now is the $15,000 down payment assistance program, which typically on a house of 200 to 250,000 should cover 95% of the down payment and closing costs.
So give
So
me a number on that. Like, show me numbers on that.
as in,
Like an example, real life numbers. So
yeah, so give me 1 second. Let me pull up a file that I'm actually currently working on. And I could just give you an example of what their numbers look like.
sounds
So
great.
they're buying a $215,000 house, and they are doing a 5% down payment. Now, sometimes we could do 3.5% down, depends on the situation, but
Mhm.
for them, we're doing 5% down.
Okay.
They need to bring around $3,000 to the closing table, which means at the day of signing, they're bringing $3,000 to buy a house. Now, if we did 3.5% down on their specific situation, they might need to bring $200 or $300 to the closing table. Depending on the purchase price of the home, sometimes we could do even less, or sometimes the client gets a check back at closing of up to 2,500 bucks.
Oh
So
wow.
it just, each person's just different, each scenario is different, but I can tell you this much. If, let's say you have $2,000 or $3,000 saved up and you just, all the other lenders are telling you you need between 12 and 15,000 bucks. Well, that's where North Carolina Housing Down Payment Assistance really comes in handy and could help you get in a home now.
So what would be, you say the house is how much?
215, let's say.
215,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna put down 5%. So that's $10,750
Yep.
would have to bring under normal circumstances. So that's what the average person is thinking that I'm gonna have to save up.
And that's just down payment. Remember, there's
That's
closing
down
costs.
payment. That's not closing costs. It's not anything.
Exactly.
So the program that these clients are using is going to cover 3.5% of that.
Well, it's going to cover $15,000.
15,000. Okay.
Period. We could use that 15,000 for down payment, for closing costs, for a combination of things. But typically, in a lot of situations, I could do a 3.5% down program to where they're bringing virtually no money to the closing table.
Yeah.
And again, this is really client specific and what they qualify for. This is just this
Okay.
current scenario I'm working on now.
Right. Right.
So yeah, they have $15,000 that they could utilize whichever way they want to. Now, I don't want to get too involved in, hey, there are fees that get applied, so you're not technically getting a full 15,000. It could
Right. Right.
be
Right.
13.5 and change. But the point is, you're getting a lot of money at 0% interest.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
Okay. So are there any things that if let's say you don't know this process and you're thinking, I want to buy a house in the next year,
Mm-hmm.
what are the three things that you know because you're a mortgage person that other you is doing needs to do to get prepared?
I think the mistake most borrowers make and first-time home buyers is they overthink it. They already think they can't buy because they're on Google and they think you need to put 20% down or their credit score has to be outstanding. A lot of times people get in their own way. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what they really need to do, whether it be me or another lender, they need to have a phone conversation. Just because you call me doesn't mean I'm pulling your credit. We're going to just have a simple conversation of where you're at now, who do you work for, what's your income, what do you think your credit score is? And then if everything sounds good at that point, hey, let's put in an application and see if you're ready now.
Right.
If you're not ready now due to credit score, job history, I could tell you exactly what you need to do in order to qualify.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge. And I think that's the question I get a lot. And I'm always like, I don't know
Yeah.
exactly. I know the basics, but I don't know exactly. So that's great. So just the first thing, just talk to
Talk to a lender, talk to
lender.
a loan officer, make sure they are certified. If you're really looking at doing North Carolina housing, not
Mhm.
everybody does them.
Okay.
I think I'm top 3
I
in the
didn't
state that does them, but just in general, talk to
wait a
somebody
minute.
that
I
does them.
talked over you. You said you
Okay.
think you are what in the state?
I think top 3 with
Top three.
NC Housing.
Okay, so you know that program. Gotcha.
Yeah, we do it a lot. I probably have 3 this month alone.
Okay.
And let's just kind of throw out some other questions that people are going to have. If I had to give you a negative, and I don't think this is a negative, but this is what some people say, is if you refinance or sell that home within 15 years, you could have to pay back that $15,000. So again, I don't really think it's still a bad deal because you're either having to come up with that money now that you don't have, or maybe over the next 15 years if you sell or refinance.
Gotcha.
So again, I don't want to label that as negative, but that's usually the question. Hey, why shouldn't I use North Carolina housing? Well, I still think you should, but some
Mhm.
people just don't like that aspect of it.
Okay.
But I really don't know a better down payment assistance program out there.
Wow. Okay.
I really don't. And there's plenty national programs or other lenders are throwing stuff out, but then there's an interest rate tied to it and they're making a payment on the down payment.
Yeah.
Yeah, NC Housing's phenomenal. Again, use them all the time, work with them all the time. Another awesome aspect is they don't really take any longer to close than any other mortgage.
Oh,
So we can
yeah,
still
that's
close quickly
right.
and with the least money out of pocket that you could do.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So first step, just
Talk to
contact,
me.
talk to
Talk to me is your first step. And then I promise you, I'll let you know exactly what you need to do if you're not ready now.
Yeah.
And you will have a time frame. I could tell you down to the dollar what you need to do to get your credit score up a certain amount and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
is
just, yeah,
perfect.
it's
Okay.
just talk to a lender, talk to me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, again, NC Housing, I know this was a quick call. There's a little bit more in and outs and debt to income ratios and stuff like that, but that's really specific per
It's
client.
specific to that person or
Exactly.
to that couple, that deal. I got
Yep.
you. All right. Well, let's see if we can get you some folks over there.
Sounds good.
Learn about it. Because I mean, North Carolina Housing's got the money. Why not use it?
Why not? It's
Right.
there. Oh, and their rates are very competitive, guys. Compared to the market interest rate, whatever rates are today, their
Right.
rates are extremely competitive, even getting down payment assistance with it. So I mean, I love it. I love NC
Win-win.
Housing.
It sounds like a win-win.
It is indeed. But just let me know if you have any questions, Dee Dee,
Okay. All
and
right.
we'll go from there, okay?
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Okay. Bye.